Hey, it's Thomas here from Vantage Point Survival again. Um, Today I wanted to talk a little bit about your ammunition. I lived in California during the ammo crisis that happened a couple years ago, and so what we found at that time, it was it just went astronomical. I'm sure everybody knows that, and if you're not relatively familiar with the way ammo used to be before the crisis, you could pick up a box or actually a brick, 500, 550 rounds of 22 for 15, $20. That was the norm before the ammunition crisis. And then it shot up, and I mean, it was not unheard of for that same box 6 months later to go for $100. Now, February 2015, everything's starting to come back, but you're actually starting to see the adverse effect of that, of overproduction. Aguila, which is made in Mexico, they're ramped up going 24 hours a day. And a lot of your U.S. manufacturers are doing the same. So now we're back to a relatively calm market and actually have some price suppression. So, that being said, I think this is a good time to start buying ammo for yourself and as bartering, and also for an inflationary hedge, because it's not going to get cheaper. It's only going to get more expensive, in my opinion. It may go down another 10, 15%, but over the next few years, you're going to see ammo again come in high demand. The metals are getting scarcer, and it's just going to go that way. So this is a rifle that I picked up during that time. Over in California, you couldn't find an AR to save your life. What I bought was this Mossberg MVP in 223556. So I put a little bit better scope on it, but very nice shooting rifle. I overpaid for it because of the time I paid for it. I think I paid like $800 for it. You can probably find it for $550, $600 now. But I wanted to talk about this weapon because it takes a standard AR mag. That was why I bought it. Hey, this takes AR mags. I have lots of AR mags. This is good for me, and in a bolt action. Now, that being said, I've owned a few AR platforms in my life. Currently own a couple. So I wanted to talk about ammunition when it comes to steel case versus brass. So there's a couple things to consider for people who don't know anything about this matter, and then I'm sure there's probably people out there who know more than I about this, but I'll just give the basics of what the difference is. If you look, it's the same round. This is a 5.56, which is a little bit more powerful than the 223, but this is standard NATO round. At the time, these used to go for these nice rounds you see here, used to go for the brass about $1 a round. Now they're down to in the high 30 cents per round when you buy 1,000. So you can find $380 for 1,000 rounds. That's, to me, is a good deal. Back 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you could only find the steel case for that price. And if you found a good deal, you actually found these for 60, 70 cents a round. So you could flip it or whatever you wanted to do to make money, however you did that. I just tried to buy in bulk, and then we helped our friends out, and it was a good deal for everybody. Now, that being said, the differences are metal. So this brass will expand at the exit of the bullet, and that seals against your barrel, and it does a very effective job, and that's why people prefer brass. The other things to consider are not only that one point of reference is that this metal expands so quickly that this seal right here closes against the barrel, and doesn't allow escaping gases back into your weapon. A steel case does not expand at the same rate. That's why you get some blowback gas going back into your gun, and it's a dirtier round. So you'll hear people say, "Oh, it's a dirty round. I won't shoot it out of my weapon." That's one point that they are correct on. It is a dirtier round. Now they have went to non-corrosive, is what they say, primers. I don't care if I ever shoot steel out of my weapon systems. I clean it with soapy warm water before I start cleaning my gun. That's all you got to do to get rid of the salts that corrode your barrel and everything else is soapy warm water before you clean your gun. So if that's your only concern, then there's your fix. Right now, there's not much of a price difference between the two. So of course I would go brass. And the reason why is if you look closely at this, I know the focusing sucks, but you can see a huge error right there. And what that was from was this weapon, the extractor broke. If you look at the end, you can see right closest to me, this piece right there, that keyway. That keyway is an extractor. What it does is it puts the edge of the rim right here. When you fire the round and you pull the bolt back, it flips this, pulls it back, and then the ejector flips it out the hole. Well, the extractor, because I was shooting this round, it broke because the steel was harder than the metal that Mossberg put on the end of this bolt. So this is a Mossberg. I sent it back to Mossberg. Mossberg replaced it, no problem. But that's one of the issues with shooting steel case ammunition is it's harder on your weapons. Now, so that being said, Bushmaster, I've shot it. It won't shoot. My Bushmaster Carbon 15 will not shoot steel case. What was the other? This weapon will not shoot steel case. Somebody else I knew had another weapon system. I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was Palmetto State. Would not shoot steel case. But an Olympic brand AR-15 will run that steel case all day long. No problems, no hiccups. As well as the SIG platform. I had a SIG 5.56. That thing would eat it like nothing. So just something to keep in mind. Right now the price of ammo is going down. Start stocking up on it now. That's a little bit of an education between steel case and brass case, just for you guys out there who don't know any different or better. So maybe that'll help you get a little bit more informed as to what the differences are and what you want to invest in. But me, I'm gonna try to stock up on brass while I can. All right. If you like what you saw, like us on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks a lot. Be safe.